Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're just going to take a quick look at Solana, double check a few important things. We're testing this lower support range of like that 120 to 122. We talked about that yesterday being kind of last line or last leg of defense. It's really running concurrent in a lot of ways with that lower lead on the cloud too. So just some things we want to kind of be mindful of. We're going to double check some backend data really quick as well. And if you could, please hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. Deeply appreciate that. Quick congrats to our committee here for some nice profits on our Bitcoin, AVAX, and Near Protocol long, roughly 20% on each. We caught those trades there nice when Bitcoin was pumping, and obviously securing profits and getting out of the way for the price action to pull back. Unfortunately, 84,000 holding very strong as a resistance for Bitcoin. And just know there's still a CME gap above that level. If you're not familiar, so here I go from yesterday's analysis, there is a CME gap here, roughly about 84 to 86K. So just know that that is still a very realistic probability that we see 86,000 in the relative near future. Between now and then, it's hard to say as we continue to talk about tariffs and Trump tweets, like these things are destroying the market slowly but surely. Okay, and when I say destroying, it's more so just temporary pullbacks. I don't really think we're in a recession per se, but regardless of that fact, we're starting to see that affect Solana, but it's starting to bottom out too. So we got this really tight range here, if you will. See this bear flag did technically play out. Let's look at this here though, just kind of give you perspective. We're in this channel right now between 128 and roughly 122. So until we break free from that channel, we can presume it's going to continue to just be range bound. So hypothetically, 122 is the new bottom, but don't think we should attach ourselves to that idea just yet. When we look at liquidation, we can see 120 to 118 as a rough estimate, or 121 to 118 is that area of extra liquidation to the downside. That's pretty much the heaviest concentration there. You kind of add it up together, what we got, like somewhere in the range of 1 to 2 billion between that 118 to 121. So a decent amount there. We can also see liquidation delta, I wouldn't say it's shifted, but it's remained fairly consistent to the downside. This isn't monumental by any stretch, but it does imply more shorts are in play than longs at this moment. In fact, our day trading bot right now is essentially shorting as well. We can see we got a Solana short open there. Not really in profit, just kind of break even, but the truth is our automated trading bot's been doing very well here recently. So congrats to our committee for that. I post results there consistently if you want to know, but that's part of our Premium Plus group. $50 per trade, $1,000 portfolio. We've earned $649 in about 43 days. So cool stuff there. Let's take a look at the liquidation. No, we already looked at that. Open interest. We got a lot of open interest below the price, folks. And what does this mean for us here? If you're not familiar, this is basically just an accumulation of volume. This is where people are buying the most Solana, which is 120, 118, and approximately 115. So those are three areas of support below us, reinforcing the fact that the price shouldn't go too much lower. It'd be surprising if we came anything lower than 115, just based on open interest, kind of reinforcing that support for us. So be careful shorting Solana, just based on the simple fact that we're close-ish to the bottom. And when I say close-ish, I simply mean that, it can still go lower, of course, and you're probably more statistically likely to find success shorting this coin than in general. But shorting into support, a significant support range, isn't always the best strategy. Okay, you're much better off waiting for the price to recover to a resistance range. So me personally, if we see 135 to 140, that's just kind of off the cuff, in my mind, where I'm considering a short position at this time. It's going to change between now and then. I'm not just going to jump blindly into it if what happens, but that's roughly what I'm looking at. And again, that's going to come with an $86,000 price point for Bitcoin, because that's where I'm planning to short Bitcoin as well, once that CME gap has been filled. Once more, as per usual, you never just kind of set it and forget it. Reevaluate when we get there. We'll talk about that more later, but for right now, we're not there yet. We're in the low 80s for Bitcoin for the moment, and reinforcing that support at 122 roughly for Solana. Anyways, the daily time frame here, there's nothing special. It's terrible. Most daily time frames is going to be the same on all majority of altcoins. Okay, so there's nothing monumental there. The 4-hour time frame still struggling to claim 50 on the RSI, while we're tentatively above and below the simple moving average. Stochastic swinging down, MACD's diverging. There's not a lot of reasons to take a long position right now. Okay, it's just one of those situations where you're better off avoiding it altogether. But if you were to insist on a trade, hypothetically, we are in a range right now, once again, between roughly 122 and this upper range of 128. Okay, so on the 4-hour daily time frame, we can recognize this pretty obvious channel. So this channel is important to recognize because you can have a lot of a lot of benefit doing this because Bitcoin is range bound too in a lot of ways between roughly 80 and 84,000. So if you equate that to Solana, hypothetically Bitcoin recovers, Solana should run towards 128 soon, right? That's kind of the idea. So the overall sense here is that it's range bound until it isn't. So for the moment, you're probably safer, if you will, to take a long at this point. As long as you watch it close, make sure you're not being ridiculous and trying to think that you can get this take a long to 200, right? It's just not a thing anymore. We cannot attach ourselves to like holding on for dear life with a leverage trade for like those profit targets are not going to happen. This is an easy way to understand it. You have to have realistic targets. For example, these targets here that we achieved, we literally got in and out with the skin of our teeth. These were super close. And as you can see, 20%, those are 5x leverage trades on average, outside of Bitcoin, of course. And it's really, you got to work within tighter margins. I'm not setting 100% profit targets in every trade. So just careful. Simple way to understand it, you got to be careful in this market. Secure profits whenever possible. So Ichimoku Cloud lets us know we have this lower lead, this lower support of roughly 122. I don't put a lot of hope into that though. I think you are being hopeful if you're expecting it to bounce right here. It's a very tentative channel that we're in right now. Obviously, if you're a range-bound trader, you can totally have some success, but make sure you have a close stop loss just in case it gets away. There's no guarantee it's going to hold. So my speculation is we're going to probably see the price continue to pull back a little further, just based on the simple fact that Bitcoin, if we take a look at Bitcoin's liquidation, we have a significant chunk at 79,000, between 79 and 80K. So even though 80,000 is held so far as that psychological support, there's a decent chance we could see that extra liquidation swept now that we're really close to it. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Hopefully that makes sense and I described this correctly. Link down below if you want to become a better trader. My Crypto Cash Premium Plus group, if you're part of this and you want to essentially have access to it, you need to make sure to read through our signals guide. If you follow this to a T, you're going to find those kind of benefits. This is specific for my auto trader. Okay, so make sure you reference that. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. But either way, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you learned something today. Comment below, like, subscribe, follow. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.